Melting ice in Greenland is changing the traditional way of life, leading to rising unemployment and loss of income for local workers. Greenlander Niels Skundal has spent his whole life on the shores of Disco Bay. He makes his living by hunting and fishing using a dog sled. That is, however, no longer sufficient to make ends meet. The ice does not get very thick anymore. You cannot sail and you cannot go out with the dog sled either. Before, we could go out on the north side of the bay, but we cannot do that anymore. The water is a bit warmer and the currents are stronger, so we cannot approach the ice in the same way. The harsh climate makes farming impossible. During the 5,000 years that Greenland has been settled, its inhabitants have relied on the ice for trade and to feed themselves. 50-year-old Gundel has started to use his sleds to take tourists on tours. Even with the extra income, the climate is still against him. The winter season is now shorter by about 3 months. As a result, the ice is thinning. Soon, the only option will be fishing by boat. Rens Reimer, who is following the footsteps of his father, still fishes for halibut by boat or with his 12 dogs. Life is getting tougher as his catch is bought by the kilogram. Since I started off as a fisherman 20 years ago, two major things have changed that have really affected my line of work. The halibut are much smaller and there has been a drastic change in the weather. Theater director Simon Lofstrom has invested a lot of time researching Inuit culture. He is from Upernavik, a small town north of Disco Bay. He grew up in a community that hunted seal, walrus, and whale. There were big icebergs, really colossal icebergs that drifted past us here. Now they have become really small. Visitors say the icebergs look really big, but in fact they used to be 10 or 20 times bigger. As life becomes harder and unemployment rises, suicide has become a growing problem. There are no statistics to prove a link, but Greenland has one of the world's highest suicide rates. There may, however, be a glimmer of hope. Scientists say melting ice could uncover large resources of oil, gold, and diamonds. For the dog owners and fishermen, however, that is no substitute for the loss of their traditional lifestyle. TITV Weekly.